What's up, TEDx Wilmington? I'm Aaron Shepard. The title of my talk is Make America Space Again.
Mm-hmm. And Aaron, you did a great job. It's very rare for me to actually go sit in the crowd to experience a talk. I wanted to do that for yours. And we pulled you right off the red carpet about 1 minute ago, and that's all on purpose. How do you feel right now?
Oh, I feel amazing. I just feel energized. It was so cool to watch the crowd and see everybody's reaction, and just watch an idea that I'm passionate about start to spread to other people. It's why I chose to do this. It's an amazing feeling and experience.
Mm-hmm. And there's something about like life coach and depression and lots of topics that are deeply needed in society, but they don't hear very much about things like going to Mars.
Yes.
And therefore, I would imagine that the way the audience connected to you had to have been unique. How did that feel? Could you sense that they were just along for this journey?
Yes, I could sense that. I could kind of watch their awareness of the idea grow as the talk was going on. And at first, everybody's like, "Okay, what's this about?" But then when they start feeling what I'm feeling and they're understanding what I'm trying to say, you can see the light bulb go off in their heads. And I remember watching a few people in the audience nod their heads and say, "Yeah, I agree. That's what we have to do." And it's amazing to do that because not a lot of people think about space exploration. It's one of those things that unfortunately gets put on the back burner because we have so many other personal and national issues to deal with here on planet Earth.
Mm-hmm. And what people don't know, we could dial in on this for a second because this is how we know each other is through the Mars generation, or I guess it was just before that, and then we both joined after that. Actually, yeah. And it's funny too because people are like, well, we have so many challenges on planet Earth, why do we need to go to Mars? And it's like, well, this is the biggest risk. Like something could happen.
Right.
Some space rock, disease. I don't really like to talk about international war, but like the biggest risk of humanity is that we're not on two different places. So it's this interesting thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're able to use this platform to have more people learn about it.
Right. So, And it's something that it's something that I, as a space enthusiast, understand, but there is so much of our future rooted in our ability to explore and discover. I mean, if you look at Magellan, Christopher Columbus, even Lewis and Clark, they are instrumental in the development of our society, and that was through exploration. And so the next step, now that we've pretty much mapped everywhere on planet Earth, I mean, there's the oceans, and that's interesting too, but the next step is to look beyond. You start looking at the moon, you start looking at Mars, you start toying with the idea of making humanity an interplanetary species.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
I know you are too.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be so cool. We're gonna have starships and lightsabers and all that. It's gonna be awesome.
I know. I hope we can see some of it in our lifetime. I think we will. I'm pretty confident, especially like the getting it started part. So Aaron, audience connection, how you feel right now? All this is hugely important. And then we segue into Adjit's favorite question, actually, because people come from all types of different backgrounds, geographic places. You know, you're up here from Clemson, all types of different everything, cultural, societal, religious, everything, different backgrounds. But everyone has a unique reason why they want to give a TEDx talk.
Right.
And this has become Adjit's favorite question. Why do you want to give a TEDx talk?
Because I believe that space exploration is essential to our development. And the data is there, the evidence is there. There was this huge technological boom, like I mentioned in my talk. We got all these interesting products, and that I literally had thousands to choose from, and I tried to pick 3 that stood out the most. And then there's a philosophical boom. It encourages us to work together. It encourages us to think about the future and invest in a better tomorrow. And it gives us a sense of hope that we are so desperately lacking today.
This is good. That's a good reason to give a TEDx talk for sure.
And so I'm hoping this isn't my last one, but I really just wanted to start by spreading the idea of, hey, we did all these cool things in space and we stopped, and that's not, we need to continue. We need to make America space again.
I love that title. And I know you had the title picked out like probably before, because the talk has been a whole evolution, right?
Yes.
That title.
Yes, that was and it was so funny because when I was actually thinking about what to title my TED Talk, I've written something with the same title before, and it was just, well, expand on that idea, and don't, be an engineer. Don't necessarily reinvent the wheel, just improve it, make it better, expand upon it.
It's a good way to put it, especially in the engineering context. I can resonate with that. So Aaron, I do Ajit's favorite question, and I say, of course, my favorite question for the end.
What's that? All right, let's do it.
Short and sweet. So, Aaron, you are in teaching environments all the time. You do presentations and talks, but there's something a little bit different about this whole TEDx thing. You've been through this crazy journey to get to here, and here you are, coming right off the red carpet, which now makes you a TEDx speaker alum. So congratulations. Congratulations, which also now qualifies you to give advice to future speakers. So if you had a friend who is going to do this, or say, like you have suggested, maybe for your second TEDx talk, knowing what you know now, what would you suggest for future speakers?
Make it less about you and your accomplishments and your involvements, and more about the idea that you want to spread. Because the audience will more than likely forget you, but if you have a good idea, that sticks with somebody for the rest of their life. And that was a challenge that I had, again, pulling myself out of the talk and just finding this idea that I was really passionate about spreading, and coming up with a clever and kind of novel way to give it to the audience.